Hello and welcome to the NFL Preview Show. I'm your host, Matt Nago, along with my colleagues, Max Zepeda and Ben Overbook. Today we will be talking NFL preseason and regular season. This is going to be an exciting season. Who is your top contender for the Super Bowl, Ben?
The Patriots might come back, but without Tom Brady for the first 4 games, I think the Seahawks will come again.
Really? No Jimmy Garoppolo starring. What about you, Max?
Well, it's kind of a big battle. I mean, I have to agree with Ben, and the Patriots aren't really going to do well in their first 4 games because of Tom Brady being gone on the Deflategate. So the Patriots are really going to have to come back, but if Tom Brady can get back from this Deflategate, it's going to go well for the Patriots.
Well, the Patriots' first game is against the Steelers, who have Ben Roethlisberger back healthy. LeGarrette Blount, they left to the Patriots, which will be his first game back in Pittsburgh for the first time as a Patriot. We will also be talking about the Seahawks. Their opening game is at the Rams, who they lost last year in Week 17. Do you think they'll start out well in the first 4 games instead of the Patriots without Tom Brady?
Well, I have to say I kind of wouldn't agree because the Seahawks have everyone back in full shape. They have Russell Wilson back. They have Marshawn Lynch back. They have their big receivers back. So if they want to keep the pace up, if they want to beat the Patriots to the Super Bowl, they're going to have to do it with those big starters.
And they also got Jimmy Graham as a good tight end.
Yeah.
So their team's going to be a little better than last year. What about you, Ben?
Acquiring Jimmy Graham is a big thing for the Seahawks, along with Marshawn Lynch, who cannot be stopped when he's running. He has to be one of the best running backs in the league. Russell Wilson, he's one of the running quarterbacks in the league, and he can pick up yards running.
Any teams not the Seahawks and Patriots contenders for the Super Bowl?
The Packers might actually make a run with Aaron Rodgers, last year's MVP.
I also have the Packers too as my semifinalists, but also having a chance to go into the AFC Championship game once again could be the Colts. Well, it's because of that, and because Andrew Luck just can't be stopped. And their first game is going to be against the Bills, so that will be an easy one.
Any quarterbacks that are going to be rising stars this year that didn't make a lot of headlines last year?
Well, I have to say, the worst team with the hugest quarterback situation is, of course, the Texans, because they have been back and forth with their quarterbacks. They just don't know who's going to start, or except for Brian Hoyer. But I have to say the one with the best quarterback right now has to be the Seahawks with, and of course the Texans starting with the Royals. I mean, not the Royals, sorry, I keep getting my teams mixed up, the Chiefs. But I'm going to have to say the Seahawks are the best quarterback so far in the league.
What about you?
Right now, I think that Teddy Bridgewater will have a better season than he did last year.
No rookies like Marcus Mariota or Jameis?
Well, I think Marcus Mariota will have a better season than Jameis Winston. But last year, Teddy Bridgewater was a rookie, and he was doing pretty good, I would say. But I think he'll be better this year because I think he's matured.
Speaking about matured, Andrew Luck is coming back this season with more confidence than he did last year. Do you think that will affect the Colts season this year?
I don't know if it will, but it will just have to depend on how he plays because as he had very little confidence going into last year about how the Colts have been doing. So I have to say the majority is we're just going to see how he plays throughout the season.
What about you, Ben? You think Andrew Luck's going to make a bit better impression for the Colts?
Yeah, because against the Bills, I think that'll be easy for the Colts. And Andrew Luck, I think he is one of the best quarterbacks in the league.
Thank you for watching Countdown to NFL Kickoff on September 5th. For my colleagues, Max Zepeda and Ben Overbook, I'm Matt Nalco saying so long from Sports Broadcasting Camp. Hello and welcome to the JD
the TJD show on Fox Sports 10. We're going to be talking about the NFL preview for this upcoming season. First topic, Super Bowl predictions. Who do you have, Joey?
I think the Indianapolis Colts have a good chance this year with Andrew Luck and Reggie Wayne staying. And also the Eagles picked up a couple good players like DeMarco Murray. And yeah.
What about you, Darius?
It's going to be the Colts because of Andrew Luck. I think he's going to do very good this season, better than he did last season. And the Seahawks because of Russell Wilson and Marshawn Lynch, but I think Colts are going to win it all.
I think the Patriots are going to get off to a bad start with not having Tom Brady. So in the AFC, I kind of like a surprise team for the Super Bowl. How about the Kansas City Chiefs? And then from the NFC, I got the Seahawks, and I think the Seahawks will beat the Kansas City Chiefs. Okay, now on to MVP predictions. Who do you have, Darius?
For the MVPs of the Super Bowl or regular season?
Regular season.
Okay, regular season, I think it's going to be Antonio Brown on the Steelers. I think he's very good, and this year, he's going to do very good.
I have to agree. Antonio Brown led the league last year in receiving yards, and he's going to come off a really good year last year to come back this year.
I think Russell Wilson, he will get it because he had a pretty good season last year. And this season, I think he's going to have a better season and lead them to the Super Bowl. Now let's talk NFL draft, the key players from the NFL draft that will affect their teams. What do you think, Joey?
Melvin Gordon to the Chargers is really going to help their running game. Ryan Matthews and Danny Woodhead got injured last season, so we really had no running game. And also Marcus Mariota, Tennessee Titans. They've had no quarterbacks forever, and he might make them good this season.
What about you, Darius?
I think Mariota, he's going to do very good with Tennessee. I don't think Jameis Winston isn't going to do. I think he's going to be a repeat like Johnny Manziel. I just don't see him fitting in with that Buccaneers offense.
Key players from the draft, I think, like he said, Melvin Gordon will boost the Chargers to maybe have a good season this year. Also, Marcus Mariota, he's just going to be what he was like in college with the Titans because there's no other quarterback to challenge him. And okay, so now let's go on to Rookie of the Year. Who do you think, Darius, will be the Rookie of the Year in
Melvin
the NFL?
Gordon.
I'm pretty sure Marcus Mariota, because even though Tennessee doesn't have like that good of wide receivers, Marcus Mariota still really good running threat and passing threat out of the back.
I think I'll have to agree with Joey. Marcus Mariota coming off a good Heisman Trophy season in college with Oregon, so he's going to continue that run here in the NFL. Now our last topic of the day, surprise teams to make the playoffs. Who do you have, Joey?
I think that the Chargers might make it this season with their new pickup, Melvin Gordon. Even though Antonio Gates is suspended for the first couple of games, he will come back and hopefully have a really good year with Phillip Rivers like always.
What about you, Darius?
Pittsburgh Steelers and the Chargers. I think the Chargers are definitely making it in. Steelers may get in. I think they have a better chance than not to make it in, so they should make it in.
I actually think the Bills, by picking up LaShawn McCoy, they will be running the ball more with those non-experienced quarterbacks that they have, and that will give them a good chance to make it to at least over the 500 mark. Okay, that's it. For my partners Darius and Joey, I'm Tristan Montero signing off.
Good afternoon and welcome to our NFL preview. I am John Peter Griffin along with my partner Tristan Sobers, and we're going to be talking about the NFL season and fantasy football. First, let's talk about teams that might make the playoffs today. Tristan, who do you have?
Well, obviously the Seahawks, Patriots, and Packers. I think they're like, and maybe the Broncos. Those are like the four teams that are like always been good these past like couple years. And the Patriots, I think they might even make the Super Bowl. But with Tom Brady suspended for the first games, they might have quarterback struggles, but I think they still might get in. And and the Seahawks, because they've been good. Last year they were 12-4, but then this year they got Jimmy Graham, and yeah, I think Russell Wilson, like they said, Russell Wilson only gets better with the addition of Jimmy Graham. So I think they're gonna be in, and also the Packers, they're looking really well. As long as like Aaron Rodgers or like Jordy Nelson or something like that, or maybe Julius Peppers, or if one of those players gets injured, I think they won't make they might still make the playoffs, but they're gonna have a struggling season if one of the players gets injured.
I actually have the Jets going into the playoffs too, because with Geno Smith and Michael Vick going for that starting quarterback position, and then on the defense they have Darrelle Revis, and then they also drafted Smith from Ohio State, and he'll go deep, and he's a fast wide receiver and a long bomb threat. I have the Seahawks and the Colts going to the Super Bowl, and the Seahawks winning it.
Yeah, I think the Colts will. I don't think the Colts will win the Super Bowl though, but I think they might get to the NFC.
Well, yeah, especially with Russell Wilson being with Baldwin and Jimmy Graham as 2 targets in the passing game, plus Marshawn Lynch in the backfield, who can also catch the ball, and then you have him also for the goal line, and
don't forget about Jermaine Curse.
Yeah. Now let's talk about fantasy football.
All right, so I think obviously for the quarterbacks, I think obviously Aaron Rodgers, he might be I think he's going to be number 1 in the ranking, and so he's he has a good passing game, of course, because he knows the game as a quarterback very well, and he's just very good at it. He doesn't throw many interceptions. And also Andrew Luck, I think the reason why I pick him as ranked 2 is because he throws he throws more interceptions than Rodgers, but I think he gets more passing yards, so, and that's why. And then you got Russell Wilson, because because he can run, he can pass, he can just do it all. He's all around quarterback kind of guy.
So is Andrew Luck.
Yeah.
He's pretty fast too. And then who do you have on your list as number 4 for fantasy football?
It was hard to pick over Drew Brees and Peyton Manning, but I think Peyton Manning's going to have more touchdowns than Drew Brees, because the Saints are since they lost Jimmy Graham, they only have a small amount of targets. Maybe Marcus Colston might help, or maybe Brandon Cooks, but Jimmy Graham was their whole team, and they're going down.
What about who is Peyton Manning going to throw to?
Thomas, obviously, because with Julius Thomas gone, he was their guy to throw their touchdowns to. I think Demaryius Thomas and even Emmanuel Sanders will be targets of Peyton Manning.
Now let's move on to the running backs. Who do you have number 1 for the running backs?
Well, I kind of think this is wrong. I think it's Adrian Peterson, because he got suspended last year for doing what, and so 2 years ago he was really good. He almost beat the old record by the Rams player. I forgot his name was, and he was just a really good running back. So I think he might be first this year.
Well, who do you have for receivers?
I've got Antonio Brown, and I said before Demaryius Thomas, and I think those 2 are major targets in the passing.
Well, I think that's all we have today. For me and my partner, Tristan Sobers, I'm John Peter Griffin signing off.
Welcome to Sports Time. I'm Jess Abrams. This is Alex Swift and Eli Pearl. Today we will be talking about Winston versus Mariota. Alex, how do you feel about that game?
Well, I have to go here with the Titans. For some reason, I just like the Titans. I'm going to root for them. But they have pretty good wide receivers. Bishop Sankey is a great running back. Great rookie season last year. It was just rookie season last year. Yeah. Okay. But the Redskins, I mean, they do have Pierre Garçon.
You mean Buccaneers?
God. Yes. Sorry. They do have Vincent Jackson. It's pretty much all they have in forgetting their running back. Mike Evans, yes. That's all I can think of right now.
I think that Mariota is going to come out well with this. He is more of a franchise leader than Winston is. He's more of the good guy, I'd say, than Winston is. And so I think he's going to do well. He almost has to do well, or there will be this 4-year-old that's going to be very upset if you've seen this video on YouTube. And I think that Mariota will go on to do big things, even though Winston has better receivers with Vincent Jackson and Mike Evans.
And what about Super Bowl predictions, Eli?
I'm gonna go with the either Packers or, well, there are a lot of teams I think can do it all. Packers are one of them. I'm, for some reason, a big Eagles fan, and so who knows? This might be their year. I also think Seahawks with Jimmy Graham, that's just making them better. They almost won the Super Bowl last year. And so I think that they'll go far. But, yeah.
Alex? People are going to hate me for this. I'm going to go Steelers, Packers again. Packers winning it. Steelers do have Le'Veon Bell, Antonio Brown, Ben Roethlisberger, and Packers, 2 great receivers in Jordy Nelson and Randall Cobb, a very young Eddie Lacy, and Aaron Rodgers, who's been in the league for a long time, has a lot of experience, and who has won a Super Bowl against this team.
That's all the time we got for Sports Time. Once again, this is Eli Pearl, Alex Swift, and I'm Jesse Abrams.
Welcome to the JSJ Show, our NFL preview show. I'm Sammy Bobbitt alongside Jonathan Reap and Jack Brooks. We have a couple of topics today. Today I'm asking, who will move to LA? The Raiders, the Chargers, or the Rams? And where will they be playing? And where would they play their games? Jack?
Well, I'm from San Diego, and so I'm a Chargers fan, so I'm hoping they don't move to LA. But the only good part, if the Chargers move to LA for me, is that they can get rid of Phillip Rivers. So, but I'm truly thinking that it's going to be the Chargers and the Raiders, even though I'm from San Diego.
And where would they play?
I'm not sure where in Los Angeles, but they're going to be here, and I think that they're going to do the new stadium like they've been planning for a couple of months now.
All right, Jonathan, what is your opinion?
I think it's going to be in Inglewood, where I don't think it
Why
should
Inglewood?
be in there. I don't know. It's just, I don't know.
All right.
It'd be a good place for the Raiders, because you know the Raiders. But
well.
I don't think it's a good place, but they're probably going to put it in Inglewood if they have a team. But I want the Rams to come to LA.
Yeah, the Rams will be very excited with
We've
Nick
already
Foles and all.
had Chargers. They can stay in San Diego. They're fine there. The Raiders, no one wants the Raiders back.
Yeah, nobody.
And
the Rams,
the
you got-
they're just amazing. They don't have a fan
Nick
base
Foles
though.
and Nick Foles,
And here they
and
have
they
a
have
fan
like a really
base.
low attendance, and everybody would welcome them with open arms here in LA.
yeah, because I know that if
I know St. Louis very
this
well.
has been being talked about in San Diego and for a couple of months, that if Oakland moves to Los Angeles, since Oakland has so many fans and such crazy fans, it's gonna leave
have a lot of heartbreaks.
All right, now we have a debate. The week 1 match will be the Buccaneers versus the Titans. All eyes are on Jameis Winston versus Marcus Mariota. What are your thoughts? Who will do better in the NFL, Jameis Winston or Marcus Mariota? Jack?
I'm not sure. They're all great. They're both great players. They're amazing quarterbacks. I just think it's gonna depend on I think it's gonna depend on what plays the coach is gonna give them, what the game plan is, and how the wide receivers do in this game.
What's your thoughts, Jonathan?
I don't think either of them are going to do good. I think they're both just going to go in there like they're the best in the draft, and they're just going to fail, just like Johnny Manziel did. If I have to decide which one to do better-wise, like which one would
Not suck.
not suck as much, I'd choose Winston, first of all. He did not come from he came from Florida State, but they're not as good as Oregon. So I think, because if you look at all the good quarterbacks, they all come from really bad teams, except for some of them. And so, like Northern Illinois, like Peyton Manning came from Northern Illinois. No one's ever heard of him. But he came in, and now he's one of the best quarterbacks to ever play. So I don't really think either of them are going to do good, but I think Jameis Winston would do better than Mariota.
All right, thank you. Final question of the day. Was it smart to release DeMarco Murray instead of Des Bryant? Jack?
Well, I mean, they're both really good players, and I'm a ginormous Dallas Cowboy, and I know that they're both good. Everyone knows they're both good, and either way, it's going to give the Eagles a giant advantage, and either way, it's going to leave the Cowboys heartbroken, and it's also going to think of all the coaches and managers for the Cowboys. It's just going to rot them in their mind. How could I let go of this good player?
Des Bryant has done some bad things. DeMarco Murray, nothing bad. Maybe a bad decision, maybe a good decision. Let's see what Jonathan thinks.
Terrible decision. They need a running back. They still have a whole bunch of wide receivers. So I think they could have got rid of Des Bryant, and it would have been easier and
Helped team reputation?
It would have, because they need a running back right now. They don't need wide receivers. They already have Wooden, Williams, and a whole other ones, but they don't really need a wide receiver. They don't. Yeah.
All right. I kind of totally agree with Jonathan. Just to throw that in there. All right. Thanks for watching the JSJ show. For my partners Jonathan Reap and Jack Brooks, I'm Sam Votes. Goodbye.
Welcome to STT, where we have our NFL preview. First, we're going to predict the awards. Who do you have as your MVP, Adam?
Well, I think Andrew Luck. I mean, he's been having a few really solid seasons, and he's really been improving even from his first year. He was doing decent, and now he's really still growing to be a really great player, so I have him.
Before we get to Russell, I forgot to announce our names. This is Abram, this is Russell, I'm Evan, and this is Adam. Who do you think is going to win the MVP?
Now, this is one of the toughest, this is a tough decision to make, but I'm actually going to have to go with, I want to go with Rob Gronkowski, mostly because, have you seen him? He's a beast! I mean, he is so good, and mostly because if you are against him, if you're a cornerback and you're trying to defend him, there is almost zero chance that you will be able to fight with him.
What do you think, Abram?
I'm going to go with Ben Roethlisberger. I mean, it's a long shot, but last year he was tied for first in passing yards. Only a couple, 44 yards out of 5,000 yards. And I think with Antonio Brown and then better better Motavious Bryant, he will get there.
Our next question: who do you think is going to win Best Offensive Player?
Well, I think Andrew Luck because he wins MVP.
What do you think, Russell?
I'm gonna have to go what Adam said, but still Rob Gronkowski because he's gonna be the MVP.
I'm gonna say. Actually, Abram, what do you think? I'll go
I
next.
think it's going to be Jamal Charles.
I think I have to go with Adam. I think it's going to be Andrew Luck's year, and I think he's going to do great things this year. Next, who do you think is going to win Best Defensive Player of the Year?
Is this even a question? It's J.J. Watt.
Yeah, I have to agree with you.
He plays a defensive end and he'll sack, he'll beat the line, and he plays offense.
Yeah, I mean he can catch the ball for
It's kind
over the
of
shoulder
odd.
touchdown.
But he scores touchdowns.
I'm guessing you agree.
Unfortunately, I'm gonna have to agree. J.J. Watt.
Do you disagree? Or are you
Well,
going
the only player that could be Watt is if Sherman has an excellent year. But I don't see anyone throwing it in Sherman's zone, so I'm going to go with Watt.
Now let's see the draft. There was two great quarterbacks taken at 1 and 2 in Mariota and James Winston. Among them and some other great rookies. Who do you think will come out as some of the best rookies?
Well,
And who do you have for your rookie of the year?
Rookie of the year, I think I'm going to have to go with Amari Cooper. I mean, in college, he was shaking up those defenders, and he can go long, and he has the speed to, I think, make some good catches in the NFL. And he's on the Raiders, and the Raiders don't really have anybody good, so he'll kind of steal the spotlight.
Who else do you think will make a notable impact on their teams? Any other rookies that you think will make a notable impact on their teams?
I think Melvin Gordon, in college,
Yeah.
he could just choke people right over. I mean, he would. He was running the ball really well.
Anybody else?
Well, Melvin Gordon. Melvin Gordon is really going to be the next Marshawn Lynch. He has the size of Marshawn Lynch, and he has the speed of Marshawn Lynch. He can do almost anything he can with everything he's got. He can do almost anything.
I'm going for Leonard Williams. He was one of the top players in the draft. Most people thought he was the top player in the draft. Then he fell to 6th for some reason I don't understand. And I think with the Jets and with Sheldon Richardson being suspended, he's going to slip into that role and do great things.
Finally,
Sheldon Richardson comes back.
I think Marcus Mariota is going to win Rookie of the Year. He seemed very in sync at Oregon, and he's a great arm, and he can also run the ball. Some other people I think will make an impact are, I'll agree with you, I think Leonard Williams is going to make a big impact. Melvin Gordon and Amari Cooper.
I'm surprised that they didn't. I'm surprised that none of you said James Winston.
Well, I think Winston's going to be really raw out of school and throw 20 interceptions.
Yeah.
Yep, he's
Real
going to be a
quick,
draft
I think
bust.
we need to get to our Super Bowl predictions.
But
First, I think I got the Colts and the Seahawks, and I think the Seahawks win. I think the Colts got some new pickups that should really help them.
Who do you think?
Well, I'm actually going to have to go with one of the best rivalries, Patriots and Colts.
what?
I don't know. Patriots and Seahawks once again.
Who do you think? We need to.
I think with Brady suspended for 4 games, Colts, Seahawks.
Finally, I think it will be the Patriots and the Packers. Are they in the same? Are they in the same division?
No.
Okay. I think it'll be the Patriots and the Packers. This is STT. This is Adam. I'm Evan. This is Russell, and this is Abram. Signing out.
Hi, I'm Braden Goldsmith, and this is NFL Live alongside my partners Aaron, Will, and Chase. Our first topic today will be how come Jameis Winston was picked over Marcus Mariota as the first pick of the draft? We'll start with you, Aaron.
Well, Jameis Winston has his arm and a playmaking ability to find wide receivers. I mean, he can't run the ball that much, but he's clutch.
Yeah.
I think Jameis Winston has some good running ability, but it comes down to who is the better passer. Jameis Winston has more of an NFL built body and more of an NFL arm.
And quarterbacks are made for their arm, not their speed and running.
Chase?
I think it was a stupid decision because Jameis Winston has already gotten in trouble in school, and I just think if
But in the NFL, he wouldn't really get in that much. He wouldn't really get in that much trouble.
Can you
like he
picture
did
him
at
being
school.
like a Johnny Manziel, or do you think he'll be?
I think Marcus Mariota has a better shot at being a Johnny Manziel than Jameis Winston, but I don't think either of them. I think they have good careers, and also I think the Buccaneers are a better fit for Jameis Winston.
Yeah,
Will be
and
somewhere around like a Colin Kaepernick and a Derek Carr.
not a field goal.
on to our next topic. The 12th pick in the draft belonged to the Browns, and they picked a center out of Florida State, name of Danny Shelton. I mean, a center in the first round, not a smart pick, according to me. I mean, what about you, Aaron?
Very smart pick. You need good centers to keep the lineup for, who was it? Johnny Manziel. Just Johnny Manziel could be a good quarterback, but he gets sacked too much by the offensive linemen because they can't handle him.
So true.
Good pick. Could have been better, but good pick because
I agree with
Devontae Parker.
I agree with Aaron because the Browns last year had some of the most fumbled snaps in the whole NFL.
Chase?
I'm gonna have to take you back to Ryan Leaf. Ryan Leaf did not have a good offensive line, and he had like 2 seconds in the pocket. He would have been a Hall of Fame quarterback if he had a lot of time.
Well, you guys are starting to make me change my mind about this center choice for the Browns. Yes, Johnny Manziel did get just, sacked a lot, and they did need a good middle for the blocking line. Well, Amari Cooper was drafted 4th to the Raiders. How do you? No, it's to the Raiders. Amari Cooper was drafted 4th to the Raiders. And how do you think he'll fit in with the Raiders offense? You?
Perfectly. I could see it. Derek Carr passing it 30 yards to Amari Cooper every play. I see it. He's fast
And also,
he's athletic.
if Derek Carr's, sometimes he plays some pretty bad games throwing. If he has a bad game, Amari Cooper's a really good runner, so you can just throw an easy screen to him, and Amari Cooper can do the rest. What do you think, Chase?
I'm gonna agree. I remember watching Derek Carr on that can throw the ball when he was about to be sacked on 4th down, throwing it to a center. So I think it'll be really easy to tell. He's fast and he can catch. I think it's gonna be a good fit.
My bad. Browns had the 19th pick, and they picked Cameron Irving, the safety. Or no, not the corner, or the center. So on to the next one. Bears picked Kevin White from West Virginia as a wide receiver. What about him? Do you think he'll fit well into this offense of the Bears?
No. Kevin White played a different tempo in college as I see the Bears play. I don't think he's going to fit in, and I don't think he's going to get even like 4 receptions. He's going to be traded because I don't see him fitting into the system. I see him fitting in as a Ram or like a Washington Redskins.
Well, Jay Cutler isn't the best quarterback, and he didn't ask for very much. Not Jay Cutler, but Kevin White didn't ask for as much money as people would have thought. I think he will stay in the organization for a couple of years, and if Jay Cutler's gone, he will be a better fit.
Jay Cutler, well, no one's really a great is considered a great receiver stats-wise when Jay Cutler's throwing the ball to you. But
That's it for us. So thanks for watching NFL Live.
Hello and welcome to NFL Today. I am John Souza and I'm along here with Edward Hawley and Lucas Hunter, and we're going to talk NFL today because the season is just about a month away. So first, who do you think is your offensive rookie of the year this season?
I'm gonna have to go with Alabama star Amari Cooper. He is a great player and makes big plays in big games, and he's not afraid to make those great catches in traffic. So yeah.
Who's yours?
I got to go with number 1 overall pick, Jameis Winston. Strong, big arm, breaks a lot of sacks, has a penchant for a big play when you need one, shows up in the clutch.
Do you think he will be able to get off the field issues under control?
Yeah.
Because he had a lot at Florida State. My offensive rookie of the year is probably going to be Todd Gurley. I think Todd Gurley compares a lot to Marshawn Lynch. Big, powerful running back that has speed, and I think he may be really good.
Or rich man's LeGarrette Blount.
Yep. So who's your defensive rookie of the year?
I'm gonna have to go with Danny Shelton, big nose tackle. I think he's gonna be a great player to have for the Browns on their defensive line. Can get through the offensive line, make a bunch of sacks, and yeah.
I kind of see him almost like William Perry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Who's yours?
Okay. I got to go with Vic Beasley on the Atlanta Falcons, number 8 overall. He had 12 sacks last year?
I think so.
He finished his career with almost 30 sacks, I believe. That's a lot for college in 3 years at Clemson. And he's fast. He can get around blockers really well. Just a prototypical edge rusher that you want.
My defensive rookie of the year is probably going to be Bud Dupree from Kentucky. When I saw his combine scores, I thought this guy was going to be a top 10 pick, go from a 3rd round projected before the combine to a top 10 pick. Unfortunately, the picks didn't really fall his way, and he fell to 22 to the Steelers. And I think the Steelers got a steal because I think he could end up being one of the best edge rushers because he's quick, but he also has enough power where he could be a defensive end on a 4-3, but he could also play on a 3-4, which is good when you have a possible defensive coordinator switching that may change the scheme. So let's go to our Super Bowl predictions. Edward, who's yours?
I got Colts and Packers.
Hey, same with me.
Yeah, I love Andrew Luck a lot. He's an old school quarterback. He's not really fast. He's kind of athletic, but he loves to stay in the pocket and throw it. And then Packers, I love Aaron Rodgers. He's very, very slow, but great arm. So I got Colts Packers.
You got the same, right?
Yeah, except I could argue Andrew Luck's pretty fast. Aaron Rodgers,
Yeah.
decent speed. And you gotta not ignore Philip Dorsett, Miami, one of the fastest players in this year's class. Excellent weapon for Andrew Luck on the outside.
My Super Bowl is probably a little bizarre, but I got the Steelers against the Seahawks. I think the Steelers this year, I think they're really underrated.
Martavis
Bryant, Antonio Brown. They have a really good wide receiving core. They have a good quarterback to lead, and Ben Roethlisberger. And you know what? Le'Veon Bell may be suspended for 3 games to start the year, but I think Dry Archer could do a really good job filling in the role there, and I think they have a chance to really be good this year. And the Seahawks, the LOB, we don't even need to talk about it. So we're going to go in and talk about the NFC East because we think this is one of the best divisions in football this year. So let's start it off with the Cowboys. What do we really need to know about the Cowboys, Lucas?
Oh yeah, obviously Joseph Randle and Lance Dunbar. I don't think Darren McFadden is going to play that much this year.
He got injured in practice.
Well, anyways, Joseph Randle, he's extremely fast.
I think he's much faster than Mark
They brought him in a couple times last year. He would get consistent gains of 10 yards, first downs.
Do you
think he could be good?
But do you also think he'll be able to control himself off the field? Because I know he had some sort of shoplifting incident last year.
I can't really say anything about that. That's up to him.
It's like Jameis Winston.
Well, Des Bryant He's got a little
5
more
years,
money.
70 million.
He's got a little more money. He signed a 5-year, $70 million deal just before the deadline for franchise tags to sign extensions.
I don't really like that. He kind of pressured the Cowboys into making that deal.
All right, and then the Eagles, DeMarco Murray, Ryan Matthews.
I think if
Darren Sproles.
Sam Bradford has a breakout season, they could easily be a Super Bowl contender.
And then the Giants, Eli Manning, career year last year. Odell
Beckham.
Need I say more?
Yeah, Odell Beckham's going to have another great year this year. I don't think he's a player that could have a sophomore slump. And I think their defense may be an issue now that Jason Pierre-Paul had that little fireworks incident, lost a finger. But I still think that the Giants will be pretty good this year. So that's all we have time for today.
And the Redskins, they're going to be terrible.
Yeah, that's safe to say in any year. So that's
don't disrespect the Redskins. Do not disrespect the Redskins.
So that's all we have time for today. Thank you for watching. This has been NFL Today. For Lucas Hunter and Edward Hawley, I am John Souza.
Hello, I'm Tommy Jacobs. My partner is Zachary Zychik and Josh Mechanic, and we are Semi-Pro Football Talk LA, 99.9 FM. First, we have our Super Bowl predictions today. We'll start with you, Josh.
I think the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Seattle Seahawks will be battling it out in the Super Bowl this year. Pittsburgh's offense is unbelievable, and the Seahawks can do everything.
I think that the Packers have the best chance at it this year, even though I'm a diehard Vikings fan, because Aaron Rodgers, the defending MVP of the National Football League, with Eddie Lacy in the backfield and with his two favorite targets on the outside, Jordy Nelson and Randall Cobb, will be a dynamic offensive thing.
My Super Bowl prediction is also Green Bay is going to be for the NFC. In the AFC, I think it's going to be a rematch of the Patriots and the Colts rematching, and I don't know who's going to win that. And for NFC, I think it's going to be Packers against Seahawks again, except I think Packers are going to come out on top this time.
Next, we have our fantasy predictions for this year. Bus, sleepers, and pretty much superstars. Zach, we can start with you this time.
My sleeper this year is going to be Phillip Rivers. Nobody's really talking about him right now, and I think he's going to have a pretty good year because he's got new players, some young blood that might help him out.
I think that a bust this year could be Jameis Winston and Marcus Mariota, the top two overall draft picks, because I don't think they really fit the offensive scheme of their teams. And Jameis Winston, I just don't think that him and his wide receivers are going to get along very good.
And I think two superstars are Andrew Luck, because I think he's one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL, and Le'Veon Bell. He gets receiving yards, he gets the most rushing yards in the NFL, and he can block.
Lastly, we'll be doing our predictions for awards: the Offensive Player of the Year, Offensive Rookie of the Year, and MVP. I personally believe that Offensive Rookie of the Year could go to either Amari Cooper or Melvin Gordon, because Melvin Gordon is going to be the first power back for the San Diego Chargers in many years, and I think that they've really needed that to make it into the playoffs.
I think the Offensive Rookie of the Year is going to be Jameis Winston. I do not believe he's going to be a bust. He's going to do well for Tampa Bay. They're going to probably have a better record than they are last year, and he's going to have a good year.
I think it'll be Melvin Gordon for sure. I'm a Wisconsin fan, and I saw what he did there, and I think he could do that in the NFL too.
Next, for Defensive Rookie of the Year, first of all, I was stunned when the Jaguars picked Dante Fowler Jr. tore his ACL, who was a shoo-in for it. But I think that Leonard Williams on the Jets could really complete their defensive line with Wilkerson and Demario Davis at middle linebacker.
I have to agree with Tommy because he's one of the best linemen out of the draft, and he can go along great with the Jets defense.
I also have to agree with them. He's going to do really well on the Jets, and the Jets have really upped their game this year. So I think that he's going to be the Defensive Rookie of the Year.
Before we end our show, we have a caller, I think.
Hey guys, how's it going? I just had a quick question for you guys about what would you rank as your top 5 receivers in the NFL right now if you had to rank them from 1 to 5?
I could take 1, 3, and 5. Or I could take 1 and 3.
We can discuss. I think
Okay.
Des Bryant.
We believe that Des Bryant is the top wide receiver and Antonio Brown is the second.
And then Odell Beckham Jr. is the third.
No.
No.
Yeah.
Odell Beckham's going to be a bust this year.
Why do you like Odell and why do you guys not like Odell?
I believe that Odell Beckham is overrated. People have been comparing him to greats like Randy Moss, Steve Largent, and Chris Carter just because of his one catch and his great stats last year. But I don't think he's really proven just off of his rookie year.
I think he's a little overrated, but he still had 1,700 receiving yards last year. 1,700. And he was in the Pro Bowl, and yeah, he made a great catch. That's one of the best catches in NFL history.
I think he's not going to be an 100% bust. He might still have a good year, but he's not going to have as great of a year as he did last year. Last year he had an amazing year because most of the teams underestimated him, didn't think that he was going to be a great player, so they just put their worst cornerbacks and stuff on him and didn't really try on him. So that's why he got a great year. I don't think this year he's going to have as good of a year.
To finish off our caller's question, we ranked Des Bryant number 1, Antonio Brown second, then Julio Jones,
Odell Beckham, then Alshon Jeffrey. Okay, that'll wrap it up here. For my partners, Tommy
You're
Jake.
not the middle person.
Okay, fine.
I'm Tommy Jacobs. This is Semi-Pro Football Talk LA with Zachary Zajic and Josh Mechanic. Thank
night.
you.
Hello and welcome to NFL Tomorrow Night. Alongside Ford Driver and Ben Walker, I'm Sam Walker, and we will be discussing the upcoming NFL season, which is just around the corner. All right, we're gonna jump right into our Super Bowl picks. I'm gonna start with Ben. Ben, who do you think is gonna bring it home this year?
I think the Seahawks are. They have a great quarterback in Russell Wilson, a great running back in Marshawn Lynch, and they're really stacked and they have a great defense. I think they made it last year, so I think they could make it this year and win.
Yeah, I mean, who can argue with the Legion of Boom? I'm going to go with the Green Bay Packers. They got former reigning MVP, Aaron Rodgers at quarterback. They got improved Eddie Lacy. I think he's going to have a bounce-back year. They got Rodgers' favorite target, Randall Cobb and Jordy Nelson. I think that they're both going to have a big season once again. And I think they're going to win the National Conference and win the Super Bowl.
I think that the Seahawks are going to win, like Ben said. I mean, Russell Wilson can't get a better quarterback than that. I mean, they've got a really good defensive alignment, and I mean, if they can find some open wide receivers, then they can get some touchdowns and score.
All right, our next question: Who's your guys' offensive rookie of the year?
Mine is probably Jameis Winston. He's a great quarterback. He's matured as a passer. He's a really big guy. I can't really run that much, but I think he will come through and have a great rookie year.
Yeah, all right. I'm gonna go with Amari Cooper. He's number 3. I think he's gonna work well with Derek Carr. Although Derek Carr has some bad games and might not be the best of quarterbacks, I think he's gonna have a great rookie season with the Raiders, same are, and he's gonna do pretty well.
I think that Melvin Gordon actually will do pretty well. I mean, he's probably going to help the San Diego Chargers, and I mean, he's got star potential, and I think he can lead them to victory.
All right, our next question. What do you think about DeMarco Murray being dealt to the Eagles?
I think the Eagles haven't had a great seasons in the past like 10 years, and I think it'll help their offense and help their team in general a lot. And he was a great wide receiver with the Cowboys last year, and I think running back with the Cowboys last year. Excuse me. And I think he'll play great.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with. I think it's. Would you rather have DeMarco Murray and LaShawn McCoy? I'm actually gonna say I'd rather have LaShawn McCoy, but I don't think DeMarco Murray is too far down the list from there. He's a big, powerful running back. Had a huge breakout season, a great year last year for the Cowboys, and I actually think he's gonna do pretty well as an Eagle. He's gonna have a good first year in Philadelphia. And with Sam Bradford, I think Sam Bradford's going to have a good year as well at the quarterback.
Well, I can't lie. I mean, like Ben said, the Eagles have had a terrible last maybe few seasons. And, I think that picking up this new running back would help their offensive alignment. DeMarco Murray, was it? Yeah, DeMarco Murray. It's going to help.
All right, okay, so how do you guys think the Patriots will cope without having Tom Brady for the first 4 games?
I do not think they're going to do as well because, Tom Brady, captain of the Patriots, calls all the plays, gives all the throws. They're going to have to go to their second string quarterback. Don't even know his name. Have never heard of him. Tom Brady, I'm sure, has more star quality than he has.
Go for it. I think they won't cope in well because Tom Brady just holds that team together. He's the centerpiece of the puzzle. And what's the backup quarterback's name?
It's just informed, but
Jimmy Garoppolo. And
thank you, fans.
Thanks, fans.
Thank you.
And I haven't heard of him, so I think it's going to affect them badly. But after the 4 games, I think they'll do well.
All right, I think that's it for us. Thank you for watching. Alongside Ford Dryford and Ben Walker, I'm Sam Walker. Thank you for watching NFL Tomorrow Night.
Good night.
Good night.
Hi, my name is Aaron Goldstein alongside Kyle Grassel on NFL Tomorrow. Now, Kyle, the Seahawks lost in devastating fashion last year in the Super Bowl. Now, with the addition of Jimmy Graham and all their players getting a year more of experience, how do you think that will help them next year?
Well, Aaron, Seattle's already a really dynamic team, and now just adding Jimmy Graham, who pretty much catches every pass, is going to be huge. They already have Marshawn Lynch, who they should have handed it off to in the Super Bowl, and Russell Wilson, who's one of the best QBs, I think, in the game.
Well, can I just add to that? Russell Wilson didn't really have a great target to throw to. No offense to the Seahawks receivers such as Doug Baldwin. But with Jimmy Graham and Ricardo Lockett, with Jimmy Graham, it's so powerful what they can do now because Graham had a similar quarterback, Drew Brees and Russell Wilson. They're both small, 5'10". They're both really smart quarterbacks. They both have good arms. So the addition of Jimmy Graham makes the whole offense better because now you have to give respect to Graham. That opens up room for Lynch. It opens up room for other receivers. It opens up room for Wilson to run, so that'll be great. Now, talking about the Seahawks, who do you think is going to win the Super Bowl?
Well, I'm going to say from the NFC, Seattle's going to be in the Super Bowl because we already knew their defense. We already know their defense is amazing, and now just adding more offensive weapons, I think they're going to be there for the NFC. And for the AFC, I think the Steelers will show up there.
Wow.
But I'm going to have to go with the Seahawks getting revenge and winning another Super Bowl.
That's a bold prediction, the Steelers. Now, who do you think is going to be the comeback team of the year? You're probably going to say the Steelers, but tell me why.
Well, I think the Steelers are going to come back because Ben Roethlisberger, I think, is going to have one of the best years.
Obviously, they lost Troy Polamalu. But
yeah, they lost Troy Polamalu, but they can fill that spot easily. Last year, he wasn't the best defender on the team.
Right.
And Ben Roethlisberger still has Antonio Brown, one of the best wide receivers in the game. I think their defense can hold it up. they usually have a tough division, but I think they'll handle it.
They got the Bengals, the Ravens. The Browns won't do much, but the Browns. Speaking of the Browns, do you think Johnny Manziel? I mean, there's all this hype about him. I mean, when Johnny Manziel scores a touchdown, ESPN pretty much blows up. But do you think that Johnny Manziel is worth the hype?
No, I understand why ESPN blows it up though, because whenever they do college football, it's all about the SEC. But I think Johnny Manziel is a great college football player, but when it comes to pro football,
right,
he's not.
Well, some people make the argument that he's not big enough, but I disagree with that because Russell Wilson and Drew Brees have both won Super Bowls in the last 5 years, and they're at like 5'10". So you can't make assumptions about the height. I just think he's not ready. I think he's too much of a trash talker, and when he talks trash, I mean the other teams do it back to him. So that's with Manziel. But last question for you, Kyle, and then we'll have some callers. Kyle, what do you think about Peyton Manning? He obviously had a devastating loss in the playoffs to the Colts. I mean, outrageous. Loses at home, gets smashed really by a team that loses by almost 50 to the Patriots. So what's your thoughts on Peyton Manning?
Well, you can't blame the whole game on him. The Colts had a really good offense that game, but Peyton Manning, as we know, is getting older, but he still is one of the best QBs who's ever played the game. I think we have a caller.
Yeah, we do have a caller. Hey, you're on the line.
Hey guys, this is Jason. I was just wondering, I love all the LA sports teams, you know, but like, I was just wondering, do you want or think they're going to put a football team right here in Los Angeles?
Well, thanks for the call, Jason. We appreciate it. But Kyle, I think that the LA absolutely needs a team for football. I think that they have two of every sport. I think that they have two baseball teams, two basketball teams. Go.
Oh, I don't think they're going to have a football team, but I think they need one.
All right, that'll wrap it up. For Kyle Grassel, I'm Aaron Goldstein on NFL Tomorrow.
Racist. Hello, I'm Solomon Coliago with my partner Malcolm Hobart and Charlie Hobart. Welcome to the Brady Bunch. And today, our first question is going to be, will the Tom Brady situation affect the Patriots this season?
No.
Okay, Malcolm, say why.
Because they are mentally strong with veteran leaders such as Tom Brady. Although on the bench, hopefully they'll give Jimmy Garoppolo a chance to shine as being the backup last year. So Jimmy Garoppolo hopefully will be a good leader, being young.
Yes.
And Tom Brady.
Wait, so he's going to lead in holding the field goals?
No, because he's going to be playing because Tom Brady's suspended for 4 games, which he shouldn't be.
Okay, so wait, let me say something. I totally agree. I think no matter what happens, the Patriots will win the AFC East until the Jets or the Bills get a quarterback. You cannot win anything without a quarterback. I think we've seen that in the past few years. Even with the talent on the Bills and the Jets, with that really good defense, and the Bills
Sammy
with
Watkins.
LaShawn McCoy and Sammy Watkins. I still think the Patriots will win no matter what. I think Jimmy Garoppolo is a good quarterback. I think he'll lead them to about a 2-2 record, and then we'll go on like a 7-game win streak.
I'd say 4-0 with Garoppolo.
Okay, go ahead, Charlie. You got anything to say?
I don't think it will affect the Patriots. Garoppolo, obviously, as Malcolm strongly suggested, is a very good quarterback. And, you know, Bill Belichick is a very good coach. He knows how to keep his players intact. You're late for a practice, you sit the rest of the year. So the Patriots, they won't be affected by it, and they might be able to take this season.
Okay, next question. We're going to go on to the next question. Who will win the Super Bowl this year, Charlie?
Malcolm?
Charlie.
Malcolm. Solomon.
I think the Packers will win the Super Bowl this year. They came devilishly close. They should have been there. They had
except for Jermaine Kearse's freaking knee ball.
They have the Seahawks had 4 interceptions in the first half, and the Packers did not capitalize.
All right.
They could have been up at least 28 points in the first half. The Packers
will win the Super Bowl this year because the Seahawks do not have more talent than the Packers this year.
Okay, I agree with Solomon because the Packers have great receiving in Jordy Nelson and Randall Cobb, and I think Jared Boykin is a future star. He has the potential. I think Eddie Lacy is definitely a star. He's already proven himself in his rookie year when he won the AL Rookie of the Year, or like the offense thing.
Whatever it's called.
I think Aaron Rodgers will be on two legs this year, and he will still be dominating.
Okay.
Aaron Rodgers could be dominating in a wheelchair, man.
Okay, so our last question is, do you want a football team in Los Angeles?
No!
Yes!
No!
Well, two very different answers. Charlie, how do you think? Why do you think they should have a team?
We have...
Good explanation. Malcolm, why do you think we should have a team?
Because LA
Nobody cares.
can be so bad, and it will be the first team that really LA sucks. Besides the Lakers, like when you see like the big teams like the Clippers and the Dodgers, and then this team's gonna be god awful because it's gonna be new. And if they do win, LA is like on PEDs because there'll be a new team and they'll be winning, and LA will go crazy for football because everybody in LA. One guy's like, I like the Packers. One guy's I like the Eagles. One guy likes. Everybody likes a different team because nobody roots for a team in LA because they don't have one.
Okay, Malcolm, very good point.
Thank you very much, sir.
I agree with you. I think that LA should definitely have a football team. No question about it.
We don't need
Definitely. Yes, we do. LA is the biggest sports market in the world.
You get used to it, son.
Malcolm, I'm talking.
I'm talking.
No, LA is the biggest sports market in the world. They need a football team. No question about it. They have...
You don't need anything.
They literally have 3 extra
We
teams.
need a
Our
roster.
football team is going to be so poor, they're going to be using the Dodgers, half the Dodgers' salary. Well, the Dodgers have like
Magic Johnson owns it.
Okay, that's all the time we have. Thank you so much. I'm Solomon Coliaco with my partners Malcolm Hobart and Charlie Hobart. Thank you so